Hey mamas, and welcome back. Today I'm doing an exciting review. I guess I'm kind of unboxing and reviewing the new Spectra Caracups. So these cups are really to kind of make you more hands-free and mobile while you're pumping. I'm not sure if it's only for Spectra breast pumps, but that's what I bought it to try it with. I have the Spectra 9Plus. I've done a comparison video for you between that little breast pump and the Spectra S1. This one is small and mighty. It's pretty good. I have it in my Jujube Mini Helix, which is perfect for when I want to be mobile because I can kind of wear this as a little fanny and it just fits so perfectly in here. So this is what it looks like with the tubing. It's all standard Spectra stuff. And so my plan is to kind of try these cups wearable. You wear them in your bra so that you don't have, kind of the traditional flanges and bottles all like coming up all over the place. It's supposed to make you a little more mobile. So I bought these not to use them like at work, because I think that honestly it's probably just going to be just as easy for me and having to do less milk transfer and stuff like that, pumping with kind of the traditional flanges. And I have several sets of these. So I bought these really to kind of be more mobile in the house and being able to multitask better, because I wear a pumping bra and I'll walk around with this like in my little mini Helix, like I said, kind of as a fanny pack to kind of, be able to move a little bit, but it's not the best. And it's really hard to take care of my baby, and I am exclusively pumping right now. So I'm hoping that this will kind of help me be a little more effective with multitasking now that I'm exclusively pumping with this baby. So I want to open it up for you and show you what comes out of the box and kind of do a little comparison of this versus the other Spectra parts that come with their other pumps. Hi there, your pumping journey just got easier. Ooh, I hope so. So this comes with 2 sets bagged up. I actually already opened one so that we could look at it. And I'm going to sterilize them before I use them. But just to show you what it looks like and kind of compare the pieces and parts to what comes with a regular Spectra breast pump. So this is where the milk will be collected. You can see here, this is the backflow protector. So that's the same as this backflow protector. I'm gonna put the bottle on here. Probably I'm more accustomed to seeing this with a bottle on it. Okay, so backflow protector. So it's really in there, and honestly, I think there's a chance, depending on how much you produce, that this could kind of become submerged, where this one would never. You've got in there a duckbill valve, and it does look different and unique to this. So it comes off, yes, but it does, I think it looks different. Let me test it out. So there's the duckbill valve on this one. This one's a replacement that I bought from Mom. I got it on Amazon. But looking at these, I don't know. Maybe they're not unique. I don't know if it's going to fit. I'm sure that you need to buy the specific ones. It kind of seems like it's fitting on there, but this is a part, let me tell you, that you don't want to mess with, because this really impacts your suction and how much you're producing from pumping. So this is not a part that I would like willy-nilly replace with something, unlike maybe bottles, which you can interchange for sure. Like I use Advent bottles because we actually like to feed from these, whereas we don't like to feed from these. The nipples that the Spectra comes with are not that great. So anyway, and I also do use Medela bottles too, and I had to get a little adapter to put those on my Spectra pump parts. But anyway, so this is not a piece that I would want to mess with. It needs to fit really snugly. So everything's kind of apart now, and you can see how it's all put together. So you've got your flange that needs to have a nice snug feel to it. You want to make sure there's not a big gap in between there. And this is really inside. So let's see, is this obvious? Okay, so there's a hole, so you need to kind of line that up. I hope this is foolproof, like not gonna let you do it the wrong way. So there's a hole here in this cover. So we're putting it back together. Okay, looks like I got it on there. Cool, so there's that, and then this, you have to line up the hole so that you can get your tubing on. And so we can put our tubing from our Spectra 9Plus, just slide that right on there, and then put this on, make sure it's snapped tight, because this is it. This is where all the milk is going. So it needs to be snapped really tight. And then you just put it in your bra. So one of the things that I've heard is not ideal about these wearables, like there's other ones, Fremie, I guess Legendairy Milk makes one too. You're kind of putting it on blind. You can't really see. So if you have the opportunity to kind of put this on in front of a mirror, I think that would be nice, so that you could really have a better idea of where your nipple is in this flange system. So slip it in your bra, and it's obviously going to be an awkward shape. It's not going to look completely natural, but it is all contained within your bra and your shirt. You'll have a little more flexibility. Like I said, I'm not doing this to like be super productive at work and like pump in front of everybody. I'm not one to do that, but I will be wearing this around the house so that I can do things like do dishes, feed my baby. He's bottle fed since I'm exclusively pumping, things like that, that I wouldn't feel as comfortable walking around with this kind of hanging out all over the place. So that's my plan to do with this. I also wanted to mention kind of the interchangeability. That's one nice thing about the Spectra brand, is that all of the pieces really are interchangeable. So I wanted to share with you that these are mostly not interchangeable with the other pumping parts. Like, for example, my S1 pump and my 9Plus all use the same pumping parts and tubing and everything. So that's all the same. I can interchange them between the two and buy extra and use them for both, etc. These are unique with one exception. So this part of the backflow protector obviously has the tubing on there, kind of going a different way, so that's unique. This is actually identical to the one that comes with your other Spectra pump, so you can't tell the difference. Looks the same. I can fit them on there, no problem. So if you need to buy replacements of those, you can do that, and they're all the same. Obviously, this piece it's all one system here, so there's no interchangeability with, you know, the one that comes with your other Spectra pump. So anyway, and we already talked about the duckbill valve. So that's what we have going on here. So what I'd like to do is take it for a little spin. I'm going to sterilize these, so I will be back later on, and I will tell you about how it went. Hey, so I just wanted to pop on real quick and show that I'm holding my little baby. I just picked him up from his nap. Still pumping. It's a little uncomfortable, I will say. I normally hold him like closer to my chest, and I don't know. It's definitely more though than I could do if I was wearing regular flanges, so I will definitely say that's a good thing. Okay, so now I'm going to end my pump session. Still got the baby here, and see if I can show you about the putting the bottles down, or not bottles, the collection cups, putting them down. I'm not going to feed him from that because I'm actually warming him a bottle of previously pumped milk. So let's maneuver here. Okay, so just put baby down, just turned off the pump, and I'm not really sure what to do for first steps. So, all right, I'm disconnecting the tubing first. Got a sad boy behind me who just wants to be fed. I'm gonna roll that up and put it back in my little bag with my pump in it. So then I can detach from the pump. So now I've got my little fin pack off. Okay. I am not gonna lie, I'm nervous. I don't want to waste any milk. There is crying over spilled milk. Okay, we've got some milk there. Got some milk there. Okay, now I've got them set down, which is nice that they can just kind of sit flat. Got a sad boy behind me, so I'm gonna go feed him. Okay, so now I've got some bottles I'm going to pour the milk into. The other thing I was curious about is am I pumping the same amount that I normally do with this, or is it less? So I've got about 6.5 total. Hey mamas, wanted to pop back on and share with you, I've used the Caracups a handful of times now, probably 5-ish times, and starting to get the hang of things and feeling more comfortable putting the pieces together. That was kind of a learning curve because it does go a little differently than my normal Spectra pumping setup. I wanted to share with you a tip when you're putting everything together. So let's see. Basically, I would start with this middle piece of the backflow protector, putting the duckbill on, and then putting this membrane on there. And then this, I think I mentioned earlier, is interchangeable with all of the other Spectra pumping parts. So I have these for my other system, and I'm just using them interchangeably without really noticing. And then the other thing I wanted to show that's kind of a tip for you is when putting this piece on, there's a little line here, and that is how I line it up. So you can see this is where the hose, the tubing attaches, and I did not line that up. I'm trying to do this backwards. It's almost lined up. Okay, so I just twisted it a little bit here. Okay, so basically try to make this in line with the line here, and that is the correct way to do it. That way you can attach this, and then this will line up with the hole here. You definitely want to make sure everything is snug so that you don't lose suction. And then you definitely want to make sure that you hear a nice snap when you put everything together, because this is what's holding all of your milk. And then when you put it on, you have a little bit of wiggle room as to like rotation for where you want to put it. Obviously you want this hole with the hose to be on the top-ish. That way no milk comes through, because this whole cup is the collection cup. So all of the milk will be kind of pooling at the bottom here, but you do have a little bit of wiggle room depending on what your capacity is. I have not been filling it more than like, I don't know, here-ish somewhere. And I have a little bit higher than average capacity. So for most people, it's probably not going to be a big deal, but wanted to share that too, so that, you know, if you don't like kind of placing it on you blindly, you can really see through a little bit. So like if you just twist, you know, rotate it a little bit, then you'll be able to really see where you're placing this on your body to make sure that you have the right placement of your nipple in the shield. Or excuse me, in the flange. So just wanted to share those couple of tips and kind of give my overall impressions. I like it. I'm getting the hang of it. The first 2 times I was really not sold, I'll be honest. But after, like I said, kind of getting the hang of it, being able to put the parts together a little quicker, and also getting more comfortable kind of walking around with them on, and then having my little fanny pack with my pump on there, I really started to get more comfortable. Now, I wanted this to help me be better able to multitask. I do think that's the case, but I do think you kind of need to put them on and start pumping with a specific plan in mind for what you want to accomplish in your pumping time. I pump usually for about 15 minutes or so. And, you know, I know everybody's different. Some people go 20, 30, some people only do 10, whatever you need to do. But I would basically get yourself set up, get started, and then have a task in mind that you want to get done in that time. So for me, that is typically like doing dishes. That's something that I'm kind of standing upright. I'm not going to be like swishing, swashing all over the place and worrying about splashing or anything. I could kind of pause that if I felt like something was incorrect about my setup and I needed to correct it. I could do that. I do feel comfortable, since I'm exclusively pumping, to bottle feed my baby while I'm wearing this. But that is, I would say, probably only now that he's starting to have a little more support and can kind of sit up on his own. He's 3 months today, actually. So he's not sitting up on his own. He's not some kind of prodigy, but he is kind of starting to be able to support himself a little more. So I could kind of prop him up and like sit him on his boppy and then feed him that way. I'm comfortable doing that while wearing this. I'm not necessarily comfortable like holding him, cradling him, because you really are doing that like in your chest area, and honestly you're not going to be able to do that with any wearable pump. It is not comfortable. I'm sure there are some people out there who are like really committed to it, want to make it work, and do make it work. For me, it's not comfortable and not worth it to try to do that. So honestly, I'm still mostly pumping even with this while the baby is sleeping, but not always. Sometimes I'll kind of put him on his play gym and let him do some kicking and stuff we have like a little mobile and whatnot, and that works really well, so I can kind of do some multitasking while he's doing some playing, so I'm able to do that. But yeah, another thing that, you know, is doable, I think, is laundry. If you're just kind of doing some general picking up, tidying about the house, things like that, where you're not going to be bending over a ton, that's really where I would be cautious, is bending over, because you don't want to be sloshing all over the place. It's just going to make you feel uncomfortable. Are you going to spill? Probably not. But for me, that's just where the comfort level is, and that's what I would recommend for you. So I hope you found this helpful. If you did, please give the video a like. I do encourage you to try these if you're interested, and it's, you know, you're not really ready to commit to an entire like in-bra pump system, that if you already have the Spectra 9Plus or another kind of smaller, more portable pump, that these would be great to add on to that system. And I think this setup was somewhere between $60 and $80 for the 2 cups.
And I bought mine at Target, so you could use like your Target baby registry completion discount if that's something you're interested in. I think they're also available on Amazon and a few other places. But again, Spectra Baby, and I really liked it. I'm gonna continue using it, and yeah, that's it. So please feel free to join us by subscribing if you're interested in this kind of review and other content like it. And I will see you in the next one.